You say this is the first time you've wired something in, Max?
It certainly is.
Welcome to Kev. Time to take 17 steps backwards to take one step forward. We're going to rip out everything that you can see here, and then he's going to get painted. Oh yeah! Right then, so that's boot emptied. Where it is now. And a bit of wiring and pipe foiled off. Just need to adjust those hinges. I'm going to make some oval holes just so it'll slide up a bit. Lots of bits boxed and labelled and stuff in the little baggies. And then our wiring loom just been pulled out, both the mini wiring loom and the Ford one. This is cool. So everything's out there. We're just going to take the throttle pedal out next and those couple of pipes, and then we can clean up this bulkhead panel, clean up the welds on here, and seam seal where necessary, and then give it a lick of just primer just to keep it good until Max gets on it in a few days. So that's cool. And then we're going to move on to ripping the front end apart, get the coolant system off, intake system off, intercooler off, and then we've got some modifications to do to the main brace bars both sides. We'll take this damper off out of the way, and yeah, getting ready for it to be transported for paint. So we're removing more and more bits slowly. Today, move more parts. We're gonna get the seat and the gear shifter out. Everything else is empty inside. I'm gonna get the front end off. Probably transport it without it on. Just pop it in the back of the van. And then get the gear linkages off. Measure up for some splash guards. And just where we might put tabs, and then get the intercooler piping off, throttle body, etc. Maybe get the exhaust off as well, or at least the front and rear sections, and then we'll call it a day for a Sunday, I think. Try and push it back in. A bit stuck at the moment because that's missing a belt and they sent us the wrong one, and it's the weekend and it's COVID lockdown and all the rest of it. So we had to cover it all with plastic last night because it's been undercover for 3 months, and then suddenly it rained the first day. I had to put it outside, but it's managed to stay dry, so that's good. So let's get on with that. Let's get some more parts off it, basically. Ready for removing the engine and getting it to paint. Okay, folks. So it's sort of going to be the shape of a flappy of mud. And we're going to have a little bracket there, which is going to look like that. And we'll weld that on the end of our brace. And then a couple of holes in this. cable tie. These are really old mud flaps, so we'll buy some new ones. Now we've got the shape, but you kind of need these because they're flexible and rubber moves a bit differently. And then we made another tab like that, and we'll weld that on there for the same purpose. And then a bit of aluminium bracket, so we'll drill a hole, M6 tap, and use a bracket for that front piece, just to get the angle nice, so it should catch some nice air coming forwards, not fall off. Air goes through, comes out, no muddy on the splitty. Golden.
Okay, hopefully you can see that. That's great then. Glad you can see it. So there's a tab there welded on, nice and strong. Well, I haven't tied it tight, but there it is. Cable tie through there, cable tie through there, and a little bracket just to hold it in place there too. We'll shave this down a little bit. We just tap to thread through our bracket that comes across here for supporting. Fresh air comes in here, does the job very nicely. I could probably extend it a bit further down, I guess, and I might do, but for now, that's just grand. Now, the next little cover I would like to put in, I'd like to put one in just across there, just to protect the auxiliary belt a little bit from stones and water and mud and stuff. Just a little bit, just across there, with a couple of screws. So we're just going to look at doing that now, while we've got this access, and everything's not painted and stuff, so we're not scratching anything up. And that's the other one. Now you can't see it much, but it protects a bit of the brake line, protects anything going towards the engine. Kind of ideal. Obviously it's all a bit rough, but we'll cut a nice new piece out. There's a little tab there that holds it on, and a simple cable tie tab at the back there as well. I think I mentioned this, I'm just using cable ties because they're easy to use, easy to replace, and if something really rips at one of these covers, the cable ties just snap rather than them just causing a problem and then just fly off, and there's no real bother. So that's why I'm using them. I hate the little plastic tabs. They're lovely to go in one time, you know, little plugs, and I've got them and I could make little tabs to fit, but then to get them out when they're all muddy and they're broken, it's just a pain. Just snip, a couple of new cable ties and you're done. I'm just thinking just to cover this area here, really. Not beyond here, we've got a big cover here for the air filter. So just one maybe there, just to kind of tab onto there, just to stop muck going into that direction, which is on the brake reservoir and other stuff. Yeah, I'll just see if I've got a piece that will just finish that off there. So we'll have a look at doing that now. Okay, splash guards are effectively, I think, done, which is great. So, I mean, it's not perfect protection, and obviously this is going to be bigger. Basically, this is going to come across like that, I think. It's finished, and obviously this will be one piece, not two, and it might even just curl around a little bit, just to keep the coolant bottle from getting all muddy. But that's it. There's a tab there, just behind, you can see that, and there's a tab down on the back there, just holding the bottom one, and that should do the job quite nicely. Keeps it out of the way of this, brake line comes round, damper sits just in there. We might just put a one cable tie just to pull it back a little bit away from the damper, probably like that, but we can do that later once we've cut it out. So what I know is I'll just buy a set of 4 of these new flaps, and that will give me the 3 protectors, and maybe I need to add a bit more down here or something somewhere at some point, I don't know. The horn and the fresh air feed, which is going to go here, might just want a little bit round it, so we might use it for that. So now let's switch to time lapse and let's strip everything on the outside of this engine down, ready to pull it out. And then once the Land Rover comes out tomorrow, this goes in, it comes up, shafts come out, ready to pull the engine. Yeah, come on. Is still stuck in there, so best get on with some stuff on this in the meantime. We'll whip the rest of the exhaust off, so the centre section and the back box, let's just whip it off. It saves covering it up for paint, etc., and it getting marked or scratched and dented, etc., getting the engine out and all the rest of it. I won't take very long, so let's do that. And then once Noah arrives with the belt for his truck, we'll pull that out of the way, I think, and he can just do it out on the gravel. That's how close, people. We came to a huge fire. So a fuel tank hose, which runs up there, blew and drained through this hole. This literally was full of fuel. We're talking like 5 litres of the stuff. Drips down. And at the time, I was popping and banging. This thing was spitting flames. So this was roasting hot. And this is the fuel that dribbled off it. We were that close to this whole project blowing up, and possibly our driveway as well, and our house, everything. It was right by the house. Good grief, it was close. Anyway, let's get on with stripping this front end, get the shafts out now, ready for removing the engine.
Go on then, Piggy. Tell the people what you're doing.
I'm realising that I chose all different sized bolts heads, even though they're all M10. For some reason, someone one day thought, you know what, those M10 bolts, we should make sure that some have a 17mm and some have a 16, just because, you know, life isn't interesting enough already for mechanics. So we'll just spice it up. Those Tuesdays, we're taking a brake bar.
The element of not knowing.
Yeah, that's right, just having to have another socket in it. Makes you feel like a superstar.
It does.
Wow, it hasn't been out in a long time.
Did a whole episode on that, didn't you?
About 15 of them, and they already strung it out. Like any good YouTuber would.
Not quite as bad as Binky though.
Yeah, their content's good, that's what Okay, so from the front end, what we'll do next is put that brace bar back on it, get that hub on it, we'll roll it out, and then I can do all the grinding and the welding outside when it's a bit more the daytime, because it's a bit early and late in the morning. It's late in the day. It's actually very early in the morning, which is why I keep saying it's late in the day. That might need welding up as well.
I don't know.
Either way, is it filming?
Yeah.
Either way, this is going to make good footage, because either I'll fail and it'll be hilarious, or it'll work and I'll look like I've
No backup here. So you just basically pushed them off. No, I'm not sure that counts as lifting them in. That was a controlled push. Alright, fine. Like an handbrake on.
Yeah. So I did that with the handbrake on. Yeah, that is quite heavy. Nice. Quick, Piggy, there's no steering wheel on it.
I know.
Whoa.
Man, it rolls easy without an engine. That's just going to fall off. There's a point now, I need to steer it over there. Hang on.
Right, last one, you can move it. Where'd you put? Quick piggy, turn it. It's so light, it's ridiculous. That's good.
You say this is the first time you've wired something in, Max?
Yes, it certainly is. Oh, that's so good. Do you know what the funny thing is?
That's amazing.
Honestly, when I check
Let's go. Bye, Kev. Come back a better colour. Okay, he's going the wrong way. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Where are you going? Be alright. Skippity-doo. I was actually lifting a wheel then.
they're solid.
Do a couple of miles, quick check. Yeah. Easy, you don't want to be stripping them threads either. She's mint.
Thread that I don't want to strip.
Bye.
And we're back with no drama. Sweet! Except there's no mini on the back.